What's up, world? I go by the name of Jabari. Always ready, so I don't have to get ready. That's the new intro. I think I'm gonna say that every time this thing comes on. But welcome. This is the Words with Friends podcast, and right now I'm with my man Nigel Sylvester. What's good, brother?
Yo, what's poppin'?
First off, man, good seeing you, man. I haven't seen you in a little while since I moved to LA.
I know, dude. It's been a minute. Like, when'd you move out here?
I came out here almost a year now, so it's been like 8 months, 8 or 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah, been out here.
How's that been?
It's good, man. I think that, like what we were saying at my party, man, it's just the expense of living in New York just is like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the weather, man, it's like we're out here right now, and like you just talking about it's snowing back home. You know what I mean? It's like there's certain elements like that are things that I just didn't want to deal with anymore. Cold weather and high rent. And I just want to change the pace, change the scenery.
Nah, I got for sure. It's definitely a change of pace and scenery out here, man. And I look on Instagram just now and see one of my homies post a photo. It's like still snowing. I'm just like, damn, it's been snowing forever. It seems like, dude, it's one of the coldest winters New York's seen in a long time, man. So I had to come out here too for like a month and just chill and get away from it.
Yeah. What exactly brought you out here? I know it's multiple things, but
multiple things. Like definitely like the weather. Definitely like just being able to ride during like these months are so important instead of sitting at home.
Yeah.
Getting rusty, being cold. I mean, like not being able to do what I love. Just got me out here, and also like my filmer John Hicks, young kid, just super hungry. Which I love his hunger and his like dedication for progression. He lives out here in Cali. He's like at this point like my main film when it comes to riding and stuff.
Okay.
So I decided to come out here and just do it, like just see like what the LA scene's about. Being able to ride and film and like get some work done, which is awesome, and just enjoy like the West Coast. You know what I
mean? Yeah, word, man. So for those that don't know, Nigel is a pro BMX biker, street rider, one of the best in my opinion to be doing it right now. He's incredible. And has just grown a lot, man, over the, like, when I did a Jabari Presents doc on Nigel maybe 3 years ago, that was, maybe like 3-4 years ago. And you guys can check that out, youtube.com/Jabari. But yeah, man, I just think that what you're doing is still so dope, man. And a lot of people, you're just bringing the sport to bigger heights, you know what I mean? Bigger heights, sure. A lot of young black kids are starting to know about BMX, and you know, do you feel like there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, you know, to get the sport to an audience that might not have been exposed to it before?
I mean, like there's a lot of like black kids, especially, but a lot of the young kids now who hit me up via social media saying like, "Y'all started riding bikes because of you," or people say I got back into bicycles because of what you were doing, and it's just important to me to share with the world my passion and my love, and that love being BMX riding and how I'm going about it. It's just a completely unorthodox way that hasn't been explored thus far over the 30 years BMX has been around, or 40 years it's been around for now. And it's not something that I feel I'm forcing it. It's just natural to me. Growing up in Queens, where we went to for the Jabari Presents video, if you take a look around, it's like it's not the worst neighborhood in the world, but it's also not the best neighborhood in the world.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's definitely a neighborhood of hardworking people. So I've seen people around me, like my parents and my family members, like just work hard for the things that they want to obtain. And my sport's only but so big, and I know if I want to obtain like certain things and reach my goals and live my dreams, that my sport and myself have to grow. So I'm just doing things to grow myself and also grow my sport and bring it to more people. Like BMX is one of my true loves, and I just want to share that feeling and share my story with the world. I see all the time where you see people like, let's take hip hop for example. You take dudes like Pharrell or Jay-Z or Kanye, and like they had these dreams and they came from places where like people definitely told them that's not going to work, but they took whatever they had to do and they made it happen. And now they've transcended hip hop and culture to places that people would never ever imagine. So me growing up seeing that, it's like, okay, cool. If they can do it with that avenue, which is hip hop and music, why can't I do it with BMX? You know, like BMX is such, just bicycle culture is such a global thing. Like most people growing up have been on a bicycle before, and they can understand the feeling. So like when they see me ride, they can get, okay, I understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
Or I can see him mixing BMX with whether it's art or music or style and fashion, like whatever the case may be, they can understand it and just kind of see where I'm coming from with it, man. So that's just like my whole thing on it right now.
Yeah. Tell me, like, I mean, I know a little bit about your history in Queens and growing up there, but tell me what truly was it like, man, when you were growing up? What were some of the just like daily activities you did outside of BMX, and where did you ride? Did you always just go to the city and ride, or?
I mean, like, I grew up like most other kids in Queens, man. Whereas, like, when I wasn't riding my bicycle, dude, it was basketball, football, baseball, stickball, kickball, whatever.
So just
you know what I mean?
sports in general. Like, really into
sports in general.
Yeah.
Play tag and stuff and play skelly. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
We always just found something to do. Like, not most things, but a lot of things got us in trouble. Other things didn't, but we figured it out. You know what I mean? Like, it was trial and error and just exploring, you know, just you learn from mistakes, and we just grew up doing whatever came to our imagination for the most part, you know, and definitely like BMX was something that I had to like go and really pursue, because you go to in Queens, you go to any park, there's a basketball court there, there's a baseball field, there's a baseball field big enough to play football on, you know, and like so like those sports were more embraced. BMX wasn't embraced that much, or even next to none. Like there were no skate parks, you know. So I had to really pursue that. So even getting to where I am with it now, and reaching those like points that I've reached, it was definitely a battle. But I mean, Queens was cool though, man. It raised me. I seen a lot too. You know, like I said before, it wasn't the worst neighborhood. It wasn't the best neighborhood. So like there were definitely things going on.
Yeah.
You know, like each summer you would see like certain people not around anymore, and whether it was they got locked up, got killed, or had to move away because something happened. Like so, it was definitely like drama going on, and you learn from other people's mistakes.
What were you involved in any of that?
Nah, man. Like I just kept it to like the bikes and stuff. And
Yeah.
I just kept out of that, man. Like I found other ways to make money, whether it was shoveling snow in the wintertime, raking leaves in the fall, getting a little bullshit summer job, you know, just whatever I had to do to like maintain, you know.
But I'm like, see, who is the influence in your life that sort of, you know, because a lot of times as a kid, it's not just a conscious decision you make on your own to be like, well, I'm not going to do that, because it's so easy to do something negative or wrong.
It is.
You know, so who was there in your life being like, nah,
like I had very strict parents too, so I know like if I did something wrong, whether it was in school or even worse than that in the street, and they got to like a real legal situation, I had to deal with them. So I just didn't want to deal with my parents and do anything bad. So like that was like one of like the biggest factors in me not getting caught up in like just stupidity and like dumb shit, was just the fact I deal with my parents, you know. So it was that, and it was also like I had older cousins and stuff who kept me focused. Like they seen how passionate I was about whatever I was doing at the time, where like they would keep me focused, and like especially like my older brother, where he made some mistakes growing up that I learned from, that I didn't have to go through. So like there were people there that helped me avoid certain things and keep me on that track. You know, like they always say, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. And it definitely took a village to get me where I am now, whether it was my older cousins or my brothers or my friends or my parents, you know, or just even outside influences like seeing something on TV or in a magazine and saying, well, I want to get that, but I know I have to go about it a certain way. You know, it was all those things that came together to get me to like where I am now, or to get me like the path that I'm on now.
Yeah. And so when you first started, you were, I think you said 12, right?
Yeah, I was about 12 years old when I really got into BMX. I've been riding bikes my whole life, but didn't really know about BMX.
Yeah.
Like, I've had bikes and shit, whatever, but it's different when you understand, okay, cool, like, it's an actual culture to this. Yeah. And it's not just all bikes, it's BMX bikes specifically. Like, it's actually, like, an industry based around this, and there's media that goes into it, and there's fans, and there's a certain path you have to take if you want to become a professional or certain things you have to do. Once I started to understand all of that, it became way different for me because it was more focused on BMX and not like riding a mountain bike or riding a banana seat bike, whatever the case may be, you know?
Yeah. What, I know when we were doing the doc piece, you said it was Dave Mira and Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, definitely.
Those were the idols.
Yeah, like it was definitely Dave Mira for sure, but Matt Hoffman was also like the next big name. Like those two were the biggest names in BMX at that time, you know. So it was definitely like looking up to those dudes and just like how like they like where they took the sport and in the manner that they took it. Dave Mira being the most decorated BMX rider as far as like competition and stuff, and him also just putting himself and BMX in the mainstream light. You know, it was important for kids like me because my surroundings and my neighborhood and the places I hung out at and school I went to, BMX wasn't a present thing at all. You know, so for him being able to put it in the mainstream, I was able to see it and embrace it. I think if it wasn't for a dude like that being as mainstream as he was and being in magazines and commercials and having video games and toys and things like that, I probably would have never knew about BMX in that way. You know, so I definitely owe a lot to for his efforts, you know.
Yeah. Now, looking at it, when this is going on, these guys are obviously, you know, they don't look like you
at all.
So is there a sort of like, was there ever a level of, you know, discouragement, or it's like, man, well, I don't have the same resources that these guys have. I don't know of a professional black BMX biker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Were those things challenges for you that you?
I mean, like when I dove more into BMX riding, I found some like other professionals who were black or Spanish or something like that. You know, and like that helped a little bit too. But for me, like I was a child, like I grew up on hip hop, dude, and I seen so many hip hop artists and people in hip hop, whether it was artists, whether it was an exec like Russell or somebody, break those boundaries.
Exactly.
So that was encouragement alone to be like, okay, cool, like it's proven and it's been done. That you can break that. People of color can break these boundaries, and you've seen it throughout history, dude. Where dudes like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and you could list go on and on and on. Those are just two, of course, like the most famous ones who did it. But people have done it, so I was like, okay, cool. If they can do it, I can make it happen. You know, and I can really take it to like that level I want to take. And of course, like the dream gets fine tuned and changed a little like every day because obviously because of the internet now and stuff and opportunities, and you just want more because you know it's possible. But you know, like that just like the fact that it was possible and I seen that just made me want to do it more, you know.
What was the first moment that you had that was like, okay, this is real?
This is wow.
Like this is more so than I'm just doing this in my neighborhood.
The first moment, this is real. I think it was the first time I went to the city like on my bicycle. Cause even leaving my intermediate neighborhood, even leaving my immediate neighborhood, was big for me back then. You know, being like a 14-year-old kid, like leaving Queens and going to the city, and like I met a whole bunch of pros that day, and I was like, wow, like these dudes really exist. Cause before that, I only seen them on videos. You know, so like, you know they're real, but you don't really know, like, being a kid, like, well, I see them, but seeing it in person is way, way different, you know, and like, that was the first time I was like, wow, this is real, dude. Like, they actually exist and they're real people. Like, that was a crazy night for me.
You know, that's funny, because one thing that you do that I'm so envious of, I mean, I travel, but you, with your work, you are all over the place, man. You travel all the time, and so it's funny to see, like, that's kind of the first time that you realize it was real is when you were traveling, when you just traveled right to the city, right from Queens outside to the city.
Queens to Manhattan. It was like, I mean? Wow, it was real.
And now you travel all the time. Like the way I feel about travel is that travel to me is like like a learning experience. You know what I mean? It's almost as important as like school is, you know, and like knowing how to do math and things like that. To me, that's the importance of travel, is because the minute you step outside of the zone that you're comfortable in is the minute like your life, you really realize that like, oh, okay, this is like, I have to now adapt to a different circumstance, you know what I'm saying? Or I have to now think differently than how I think on a daily basis, you know what I mean? Because this is not how things go every day for me. People now speak a different language, or, you know what I mean? Even when you go to different cities. So just talk to me about the perks, man, and the things that you've learned in your travels. Because first of all, just rattle off some places that you've been.
Wow, off the top of the head, places I've been, Barcelona, been to Tel Aviv, Israel, Australia, Ecuador, Brazil, London, Paris, Germany. Man, I've been all over the place, dude. Like
all from the bike.
All from bike riding. You know, like we travel the world to ride new spots.
Yeah.
You know, like whether it's a handrail in Dubai or a ledge in Japan, like we travel to ride these spots. You know, and is
there like a location scouter or something that like looks at places and like how do you pick where to go?
I mean, I usually, dude, it's like you may see a video from that city and you see a spot in that city and like, yo, dude, if that's there has to be more spots there. Let's go there. And like you'll meet up with a local or someone.
Yeah.
You know, so like thankful for social media now, you can just put I'm in Japan and someone will hit you up like, yo, let's go ride, and that local will know all the spots. Before that, like you'll go somewhere and ride around and you may just happen to run into a local on the street and they're like, oh dude, like I've seen this video or I know you, or let's just hang out and ride, because we both have this mutual respect for each other because we ride bikes, and they'll just show you around. Or like you go to a bike shop and you happen to meet up with someone who rides BMX and they'll show you around. But that's usually how it works, dude. We just go travel to ride new terrain. But I always say that I've learned more traveling than I did in school.
Yeah.
You know, like all the places that my history teacher was telling me about, I went there firsthand and seen it for myself. Yeah. You know, so for example, like the Great Wall of China. You read about it in a textbook and see photos, like, all right, cool. Your mindset is I'll never ever go there. Yeah. But then I actually went to the Great Wall of China and learned way more about it and seen it in person, got to touch it and feel it. And I've learned so much more and have a greater respect for it. Yeah. So I'm so grateful for my opportunities that I have to travel, because I've learned so much about life, about myself, about different cultures, different cuisine, just people in general. Yeah. I'm way more accepting of people, I feel, because I've been to different cities, different countries, different towns, and got to live how they live and understand, okay, cool, like the world's bigger than just Queens. Yeah. Or the world's bigger than New York City. Yeah. You know, and that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah. What are some of the like most important lessons you've learned on these travels? Or what are some of like the places that you've been that you just remember the experience so much?
Wow. Off the top of my head right now, dude, I remember this town I went to in Italy called Tivoli. You know, it's on top of a mountain. And it was just insane to be in Italy for 2 weeks hanging out and going to like authentic sandwich spots and drinking wine that was made a block away. It was just, it blows your mind that, wow, like because I ride bicycles, I've been able to do like these things and try like different cuisines and things I've learned along the way, man. Just respect for people and things about myself. I learned a lot of things about myself, dude, that like I'm not always an easy person to deal with, or just like how much of like a neat freak I am. You know, like things have to be in order, because when you're traveling, moving around so much, you have to know where all your things are all the time. Man, I just learned it's just valuable lessons like that, man, that I've learned, and how to like move around in a town that you're not familiar with, and to keep your eyes open all the time, dude. And you get to like to learn how to read people more. That's so important too, dude. Like we end up in random places, dude. Like I remember being in these projects in Paris, dude. You know what I mean? And like you have to keep your eyes open and just be aware of your surroundings. Yeah. Because you never know when it might pop off.
Exactly. And then some people think, Americans think, when you go somewhere you think it's sweet.
Yeah.
And then, nah, there's no ghetto in Paris, or there's no
no,
ghetto in the UK, or there's no, it's like, nah, man.
It's real out there, dude. Like, we almost had, like, a straight out brawl in the middle of the projects. Like, they started throwing, like, bottle stuff out the windows.
Yeah.
You know, it's 4 of us in the projects with cameras. So, like, we could have got ran up on and it would have been a problem, but we understood, okay, cool, like, something ain't right, get out of here.
Yeah.
People sometimes travel and it's oblivious to their surroundings because they're so, like, in awe of what's going on. So you just learn how to watch out for yourself and just learn about your surroundings is important, you know, especially because we're in the streets all the time. We ride in the streets every single day.
Yeah.
You know, so you learn about different neighborhoods and learn how to just navigate, man.
Yeah, man. I remember recently when I was in London with when we put out the Tiny Temper doc.
Yeah, I watched that. It was pretty dope.
Thanks, man. We were like, I went with my friend Sandy to a party.
Okay.
And it was like, I'm like the only American dude in there. You know, like somebody thought I spilled a drink on them, and it was like, dude was so drunk, and when I'm like saying, hey man, it's not me, I didn't spill the drink on him, it's immediately like, hold up, what, you're American? Like, you know what I mean? And he already thinks I spilled the drink on him. He know, oh, now this dude is not from here. I'm sitting here with this like tiny little girl, you know what I mean? Like, and I have no real like
it's
protection around. It's like, oh, okay. Then I immediately like moved to a different spot, but I'm just like, oh, okay, I know it's about to pop off, or could pop off, you know?
Or could pop off. Yeah, watch yourself. And like people, especially like we're like us being Americans and being like that superpower of like the world almost. So like one of the superpowers, like we're not liked that much around the world.
That's
so
when
like,
you travel, you realize how much people don't like Americans in general. And it's not that somebody is like, I don't like you particularly, but it's like, where you're from and the values that you have and the ideals that your country sort of stands on. And it's like your country has this like imperialist mentality.
For real.
They don't rock with that a lot of different places.
At all, dude. Like, you're just guilty by association. You know, like, it's crazy, dude. But, you know, like, you just learn how to watch yourself, man, and how to just be aware of your surroundings, dude, and just learn how to deal with people, man. So important.
I think it makes you definitely a better communicator.
For sure, man.
When you get outside. Let's talk a little bit about music, man.
Okay.
And because I know you're a huge music head.
Definitely.
And music, I don't think really, honestly, man, now that I come to think about it, from all the athletes that I've sort of known, followed, and watched, I think you're like number one when it comes to music influence in your sport, and you working with musicians. You know what I mean? Like, you've done stuff with Travis Scott.
Yeah, Travis Scott.
You do stuff right now with Pharrell, which we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah, Ferg.
Ferg, I mean, you've done stuff with so many musicians, and in your sport and how you sort of show your sport through these videos, you have to have a soundtrack to that.
No, you definitely do. Definitely do.
I mean, what do you look for with music and you know, what to incorporate when you're writing?
Now, music is so important to me, dude. Like, whenever you see me riding, I have my headphones in. I'm listening to music.
Literally, sometimes I will see Nigel riding in the city just randomly, and he always has his headphones on.
Always, dude. Like, I use music to just zone out the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm on my bike, I want it to be me, the bike as one, and I'm just in this place, and no one else is there. You know, and so music is so important to me. And even when I put my videos out, like you said, there has to be a soundtrack to it. And like, especially within my sport and even action sports, like anytime you see footage of us doing our thing, there's a music accompanying to it. You know? So me being just like a child of hip hop and growing up on hip hop and just a child of even music, dude, I just like sounds and the way music makes me feel. I've decided throughout my career that I want to take it one step further. Like, I just don't want to put a song on top of my riding. I want to collaborate with that artist and have that artist understand why I ride to their music or why this song means so much to me, and for them to be a part of the process as well. You know, and so like I took the opportunity that I have because I'm in a sport and I've been able to like reach certain heights that I could get those artists' attention and do collaboration with them, and we end up being cool. Like me and Ferg, we speak all the time. We hang out. You know what I mean? Like not even when we're working on something, just because we're both in the same city. We're both on a come up. You know what I mean? Like on our grind, just sharing our story like with the world. You know, and similar to Travis Scott, but we're all similar in age as well, and we're all just super passionate about what we do. You know, and so like I've just taken the opportunity I have to like team up with these artists and just make that video that much better. Like it's like put them in my video and vice versa. You know, and just to show people like this is real. It's not just like, oh, I paid you for your song. Like nah, like this is like a real relationship where it's like we both want to collaborate because we understand like, that the end goal, and we have this mutual respect for what each other does.
What do you think about just I don't know, I go back and forth with like what I think about hip hop now. It's like on the one hand, I think it's some amazing stuff coming out, and there's it's like more than ever we're in a time in hip hop where like there's so much diversity in the genre. You know what I mean? There's like you got somebody on the one hand like a Kanye or like, but then somebody even more as popular or as big as him, you have a Jay, and then on the come up you got guys like, you know, Childish Gambino, you got guys like you know, Travis. You just got so much people that are so different. I would say, and hip hop has never been like that before.
No, never, dude.
But at the same time, there's a lot of shit out there, just like hot garbage that I feel like it's because it's so easy to become a rapper now and so easy to become popular. It's just like I struggle with the garbage that's out there.
I mean, dude, like I feel like the internet has helped everyone, but as much as it helped people to gain exposure, it helps the people that aren't that talented to get exposure. You know, but you have to take the good with the bad, and hip hop is very diverse right now, and I think it's in a great place. I think though, like that hot garbage that comes out, it comes out and then it goes away. It doesn't last long. You know, like the real shit lasts. Dudes do 2, 3, 4, 5 albums. You know, like you take a dude. They take dudes like J. Cole or Wale or Kendrick. Those dudes are gonna stand the test of time. There's a lot of other dudes, a lot of other names that you can name that came and went. You know what I mean?
Came and went in 1 year.
Came and went in 1 year, dude. And like that's the garbage. But you have to deal with that because of the avenues that we have now to express ourselves. You know, but there's a lot of dope stuff out right now, dude. Like,
what are you listening to?
I'm always listening to like my staples, like Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt. I listen to at least once a week.
It's constant.
You know what I mean? Of course. You know what I mean? I have like those joints I listen to all the time. But like the newest artist that my boy Rafi put me on to is doing Bodega Bams.
I haven't heard too much of him. I'm seeing his name pop up a lot. Is he from Harlem?
Yeah, he's from Harlem. He's from Harlem. So he's listening to him a lot now. Listening to a lot of Drake, a lot of ASAP, of course. Just depending on how I feel, man. And then even like it's not just like rap for me. You know what I mean? Like I listen to Florence and the Machine.
Oh man, I love Florence.
You know, like Florence and the Machine is dope. I listen to The Weeknd. Like I think it's dope as well. You know, so a bunch of just random joints. Sometimes it's a reggae joint, or it can be just random for me, dude. But I just like whatever sounds good. You know, if it sounds good, then I can rock to it. You know.
I want to talk about how did you get all of these sponsors? Because that's a huge thing. Like people are trying to crack this code, not just in sports, but just people are just trying to. You know, the thing is, man, I tell people all the time. People ask me, man, like, why are you not doing more videos, or why you're not? And I'm like, I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on, but please believe that none of this is free. You know what I mean? Like none of this. It costs money for these cameras to travel to places, to edit it. You know what I mean?
Money,
everything costs. You know what I mean? There's a dollar sign attached to any type of art that you're creating, typically, and especially with film. You know, because so many people know me from my film stuff. It's like, yo, that is expensive. So you know, I'm always trying to talk to different sponsors, work with different companies, you know, create mutually beneficial relationships so where people can pay me to produce stuff and then, you know, integrate the brand or whatever, stuff like that, whatever may have you. But with you, man, yeah, you worked with Gatorade, G-Shock.
Yeah,
Nike is like number one.
Yeah, dude. Company called Dance Comp, which is the biggest BMX mail order.
Yeah, Dance Comp
in the world, dude.
Yeah, wow.
You know,
Animal Bikes.
Animal Bikes is staple, solid brand that I work with, and now I'm riding for Brooklyn Machine Works as well, a bike company like out of New York City.
Yeah.
But seriously, man, it's been a blessing, dude. Like, and just it takes a lot of things to come together at the right time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing, the fact that I actually have a talent. You know, and I put myself out there in a way that people can see it's authentic and it's not forced. Yeah. And also timing, dude. You know, like I happen to be rising in my sport at a time where like a lot of these big companies were getting into the sport. They were looking for that new kid. You know, and it just happened to work out. And I would have never thought it would work out the way it did. That I'm riding for some of the biggest companies in the world, dude. You know, like I ride for multi-billion-dollar companies. Yeah. You know, and it's crazy, but it just happened to work out that like they see what I was doing and they seen it was authentic and they see how people were reacting to it. Yeah. You know, like, and the way I went about my sport was completely different than the normal BMX, I guess, route or way you can take to become successful. Mm-hmm. You know, like most people or most athletes, like traditionally, you get into the sport, you ride contests, and based on your results in your contests, it's gonna seriously be how successful you are in the industry. I didn't go that route because of where I'm from. Like New York City didn't embrace BMX riding in the industry the way that other places did. Yeah. Let's take, for example, California, where this is like the mecca for action sports, especially BMX. You can ride all year round in California. A lot of the industry is based out here because it's a big state, and they sell a lot of bicycles, and people can ride bikes all year round. New York City, on the other hand, you probably, on average, you get 6 to 8 months of riding, and then it's over for the year. There are way less skate parks in New York City. You know, like right now, there's no one riding bikes because there's snow on the ground. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So being that I'm from New York City, I had to go about BMX riding in a different manner. And this is why I am the rider that I am today, because I took a different route.
And that route was street.
And that route was just street riding. Yeah. I didn't rely on any contest to be like the platform of my success. My success strictly came from myself and my videos and what I produce and like what I put out to the world. Yeah. You know, like I don't have to wait a year again to ride a contest. I can put out a video every single day if I wanted to and speak to the people. Yeah. You know, and even like when I was coming up, YouTube was just really getting big and like the internet started to boom at that point. Yeah. So it was just a perfect surge that that just happened while I was breaking into the scene. Yeah. You know, and like companies seen that and people who were in position of power in my industry and just in sports industry seen that and like gravitated towards me. You know, and I was able to use those things to get to where I am now.
Man, your career really just, as we talk, it just reminds me so much of an artist career. You know what I mean? Because it is it's like bike riding is your art, and you create that art and you put it to the fans, and you create a following and a fan base and an audience, and now these companies want a piece of that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
For sure. It's like for me, it's like almost a perfect blend of art and sport. Yeah. You know, like, because what I do is a sport. Like, I'm an athlete, dude. Yeah. Like, that's been tested and proven that I perform on a professional athlete level. Yeah. But what I'm doing has this side of art and creativity to it. Yeah. You know, that like it kind of comes together and like just make like what it is now. Just, you know, like what I'm putting out there and the athlete and the person I've become.
How does it go down when a company wants to sponsor you? Is it like, you know, is it ever a level of you reaching out to them, or is it always them coming after you?
It goes both ways, man. Sometimes you wake up, dude, and you get an email, and it's an email in your inbox like, yo, listen, we're interested in working with you. And you're like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Other times you have to go pursue it, you know, and which, like, pursuing endorsements and pursuing opportunities isn't something I'm afraid of. I grew up in New York City, dude. Like, they breed some of the famous, New York City has breed some of the most famous hustlers that we've ever seen in this lifetime. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, New York, like, if you even go back in history and understand why New York City was built, it was built to make money.
Yeah, yeah.
From even day one, dude, New York City was built to make money. Yeah, New York City.
Look at Wall Street.
Look at Wall Street,
all
dude.
That stuff,
New York City was made by hustlers, dude, and that's why that city feels like that. That's why you're out here right now, like, on your grind. That's why I'm on my grind, because
because you come from
New York City, and that in like New York City instills the hustle in you, dude. There's so much going on. The city never sleeps. There's always way to make a dollar, dude. Yeah. So I just take that hustle that I grew up with and that I'm in all the time in my home city and put that into like the BMX game, which a lot of dudes in the game don't approach it like that. But for me, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I want to ride my bike, live my dream, have fun. But I also want to make money. Yeah. I want to provide for myself. I want to provide for my family. And it's not just about the money. It's never about that. It's about the options that money creates.
Man, let's talk about that. Yes, because money. Yeah. Tell me a little. Yeah, well, I mean, oh man, this is another thing I go back and forth. Like, sometimes I'm really, I get in this like real hippie mode and zone, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't need money. Like, I know I need a certain amount of money, but I don't want to pursue. I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't want to live my life as a wealthy person, because a lot of time wealth creates this like this sort of like false reality of what's the word? People think that they deserve things when they're wealthy. Entitlement. That's the exact word I'm looking for. And wealthy people are. There's literally been like studies that have shown that wealthy people they feel a sense of entitlement when, like there was a recent study with kids playing Monopoly, and the Monopoly was rigged, and so it was like the people that were playing and had an unfair advantage over the people that didn't have the advantage. They would do stuff just like. They would brag, they would boast, they would like, they would feel like they deserved to win the game when they knew it was rigged. They even knew it was rigged, and they still were like, you know what I mean? Like, I deserve this. And it's like, you see similarities with that with wealthy people. But at the same token, me being a struggling artist on the come up pretty much my whole life, and, having times where money was not an issue, or times where money was an issue, living both of those lifestyles, I understand that, like you said, man, money creates opportunity, and you if you want to make an impact in a large scale, like me and you and I both do, I think money is a big.
I think that's what Kanye's struggling with now too.
Yeah.
I need money to do dumb shit. I mean, but even for me, dude, it's like I grew up in a home where both my parents worked, especially my mom. She worked 7 days a week. Yeah, my whole life. Yeah. So I've seen her work her ass off for a very long time. So for me, I feel like she created this opportunity for me to go out and do whatever I wanted to do in this world. But I feel I owe it to her to be like that. That I have to work as hard as I possibly can and be as successful as I could possibly be to make her years when she's done working easier. Like, I feel that responsibility. And also just like, I've been there where, times are very rough, where we didn't have much money, other times we're more comfortable, but I know what both of those feel like. So it's like, it's never about, I just want money to have money. It's about, I want to create options for myself and for those around me. Like, there were younger kids in my family. I want them to have opportunities and chances I didn't. And that's another thing about traveling, dude. Like, you see a lot of different things. Like, you see how certain people live. That kids, most of the time, kids who grow up with more options understand life a little bit better, and they have a little bit easier, like, navigating through life. Life is not an easy thing at all, dude. and being well equipped and being educated on certain things is very, very important. And having options that come from that come from being financially comfortable, create options for your family and for those around you and for those who are coming up behind you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's for me. It's like if I've had an opportunity to be successful and make a certain level of money and be financially comfortable, I'm gonna go take that opportunity because I know what that brings for my family.
Yeah. See, but then there's a dangerous game, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Of you know, I'm sure you've seen this too, but I know a lot of people who, you know, let's say you just come from money and you know that money is there, and you know there's always going to be money, and you don't live to your full potential because you know that there's a safety net from daddy. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's unfortunate. I know people like that too. I feel like you have to raise you have to raise your kids a certain way.
Yeah, it's all in the parenting.
You know what I mean? Like it's all in whatever that system is that a child is being raised in. It's that system's responsibility to make sure this child does not grow up like that.
Yeah. Thinking,
okay, there's always gonna be a safety net. No, I know kids who have super rich parents, but they don't depend on their parents at all. They're out here hustling and trying to get it on their own.
Yeah.
You know, so I know that also exists. Yeah. Whereas my parents are millionaires, but I don't care. I want to get my own money.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel that comes from the way the parents raise their child. Yeah. You don't give that child everything. Yeah. You say, well, listen, I got it, but I'm only going to give you one. You can't have two today. Mm-hmm. And I feel those little lessons as you grow up makes that child well, if I want two, I gotta work hard to get two instead of having one. Yeah. So there's things like that, man. You know.
How do you feel about kids? I know you don't have any kids right now, right? Correct.
No, I don't have any kids.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, man? Do you have a time frame that you want to have children at?
That's in God's hand, man. If I meet the right chick and it's right and it happens. You know, my brother recently had a son, so I have a nephew now, and he's 1.5 years, and it was just such an incredible experience, dude. Watching that child grow up. Yeah. You know, and the feeling that I get when I'm around that child. Mm-hmm. You know, and I know kids are an amazing and an incredible thing. I definitely want to have one day, and when the time is right, I'm hoping that God will bless me with one.
Yeah. What about? Obviously, you need a woman for that. So, is there a struggle, man? With you're one of the busiest people I know. Yeah. So, how was that when it comes to dating and relationships? And
I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, I feel like even being in New York, being in a big city like New York,
it's hard.
It's hard in general. You know,
oh my God,
it's crazy. So
many women.
You know, and I do well for myself when it comes to females, you know what I mean? But my main focus right now, dude, is BMX and the grind, dude. You know what I mean? Chicks come and go. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel when the right one is here, then I'm gonna know, and that's gonna happen. But for right now, I'm it's whatever, dude.
What do you? My thing is with that balance is what if you did find the right one? Yeah. But you got to dedicate all this time. You know what I mean? How do you?
It gets difficult, dude, because you have to be with a chick. I feel, in my opinion, and especially in my position, I have to find a woman who understands what I'm going through right now. Mm-hmm. She has to be very, very understanding. Okay, yeah, you might not be home for a month. I haven't been home for a month. So if I had a girlfriend based in New York City who didn't travel as much as me, she'd be feeling twisted right now. Yeah. What are you doing? You're out there for a month. You know, so it's crazy. So I just choose to if a chick is cool with what I do, then we can rock. If not, then I see you later. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong. I love women. Women are the most beautiful things I think in this world. Incredible. But for me, it's more just my main focus is riding right now. So chicks are okay, cool. If you with it, then we can roll. If you're not with it, sayonara.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Have you ever? You know what? Whenever I sort of talk about this with my male friends and all of that, it's it's always, we're talking about it from a guy's perspective.
Yeah.
But have you ever met a girl that has that same type of attitude?
It's not common,
But
I've met females who have the same attitude.
To me, that's attractive.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I really, really admire females who are on their grind. I think that's one of the most sexiest things ever. Yeah. But especially nowadays, I feel like nowadays so many chicks feel like I can just pose like nude on Instagram or something and like I'm gonna be like an Instagram model, and it's like no, like you need like a real situation. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like to find a female who has a head on her shoulders, who's on her grind, who has goals, who's dedicated to like what she's doing, I think that's one of the dopest things ever, man. Those are just hard to find, dude. But I mean, like it's out there, you know. You know,
ladies, the way to Nigel Sylvester's heart is a job.
Pretty much, like I need a power team. Like you don't have to be like famous or anything like that, but if you got like goals and you dedicated and whatever it is that you're working on, that you're striving to be the best and to create change, like I think that's pretty dope.
Yeah, man. I'm a big idea guy.
Yeah.
You know, I like and people in my life in general. Mm-hmm. I don't care if they're male, female, gay, straight, whatever. Yeah. It's just like I like to incorporate people in my life and my friends that have big ideas, and I'm trying to do something on a big scale, or just like not even on a big scale where like massive people, they reach massive people, but it's just like they're trying to do something good for the world at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, from the film stuff to even the party that I throw, man. It's like
throw a party too, though, man.
You know, thank you.
Great name and everything.
In the
surprise
building.
Party, like it's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. We're just trying to do stuff that's different from the status quo. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you know what's the thing about this though too, like the element that I walked into the spot and people were actually dancing. And partying. Yeah. I feel that element has been lost in partying nowadays.
Man.
So many parties are like, we're gonna go to the club and sit at a table. And that's great and all, like I enjoy that. I wanna go to the club and pop bottles too, and that's great. But I actually still like to go to a party where people are like dancing and you leave there sweating and your clothes fucked up and you just had a great time. You know what I mean? Like so like the fact that party, you can actually party and like dance and you know what I mean? Like I think that was pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, man. Thanks, man. That's I just feel like we're so far removed from just like normal stuff. People nowadays think like non-normal stuff is normal. You know what I mean? They think that a party is supposed to be you go there and you take Instagram pictures and you pop bottles and like that's it. But really, what is that? That's just like I don't know what that is a popularity contest. I don't know what that is, but like that's not a party. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
You go to party, some people don't even party.
Some people don't even party.
Photos, dude, all day.
The whole time. Like I'm in a party, but literally nobody's dancing. And it's like this is fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy, dude. Like I as I said, I actually enjoy going to the surprise party and actually partying, like and dancing and like sweating and actually partying, dude. You know, because I always hear stories about parties back in the day, like the tunnel and all that shit. And it was like a party. Like you actually went there and had a great time, and you know. But keep doing what you're doing, man. Like bringing that vibe to the game, man. Like we need that.
Yeah,
like, we just need that happy balance. Like I feel it's needed.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you. So, what's next, man? Like, what are some of the things that you know, just goals, new things that you're trying to do? Is there anything specific? Do you have anything about to drop?
I mean, the goal is always to progress on and off my bike. Mm-hmm. And when I say on my bike, I mean, like, I'm continuously striving to land new tricks and ride as much as possible and put out new videos. And off my bike, I want to grow as an athlete and grow my sport and bring it to more people, like, grow the awareness of what's going on here. Like, we're still, like, a subculture, but it's global. Like, I can go anywhere in the world right now, and I'll see someone riding bikes, and they'll know exactly who I am. Mm. You know, and they'll know exactly what's going on, which is dope. So I want to continue to grow that. I think it's just one of the dopest things ever. As far as projects and stuff, man, continue to, like, work, like, with my sponsors, you know. It's almost like, I got something coming out, but you can't talk about it. You know how that shit comes out. You know, like, there's always something coming out, dude. Like, so, but you know me, man. Ever since you got aware of like what's going on with me, man, I'm always dropping something, always doing something.
Yeah.
Right now, Pharrell and I are working on Brooklyn Machine Works, my new bike sponsor.
Okay.
You know, and it's been a crazy opportunity to work close with him. You know, he's had one of the best years of his life right now.
Insane,
killing
man.
it, dude. You know, and we just got up through mutual friends, through his business manager Loic, and it was like pretty dope because he actually rode bicycles back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, he had bicycles in his music videos back in the day, multiple music videos, and embraced bicycle culture. So us coming together, it's not like this force-fed thing. It's not like, oh, that's not real and authentic. Like, no, this dude's been riding BMX bicycles for as long as I've ridden BMX bicycles.
Yeah.
You know? So we're working on the project Brooklyn Machine Works, which is like my new bike sponsor, and we're going to be releasing like aftermarket bike parts and also complete bicycles at some point during this year.
So this is like a signature series, like between you and Pharrell.
Yeah, pretty much like Brooklyn Machine Works makes BMX bicycles, downhill bicycles, mountain bicycles, all types of different bicycles. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be heading up the BMX side of the business. So we're gonna be doing like BMX bicycles, like based around the bike I ride, and pretty much like put that out to the world and speak to those kids. Like, it's important to me that kids in the hood know what's going on with BMX bike riding. You know, like, it's another avenue. Like, I watch basketball, I watch football, I play basketball, but I feel a lot of those kids in the hood like think those are the only two sports you can do.
Yeah.
I want them to understand that you can ride a BMX bicycle, dude, and do all that shit plus more. You know, like, I've been traveling the world and met all types of different people and done all types of different things, dude, throughout my life because I ride this BMX bicycle. You know, so I just want to share that story and let kids know that this is possible, dude. So it's always just things that I can do to continue to drive that message home and expand on people's mind as far as like what's possible. Yeah.
What is Pharrell like as a person to work with, man?
He's cool, man. He's very passionate and similar to us, where it's like big ideas. You know, give me the biggest idea. Like, I want to make that one happen. Like, I want to do that thing that no one else is thinking or no one else thinks is possible. Yeah. You know, where it's like, and that's been something that I've been about since day one. It's like, who would have thought that a black kid from Queens would be able to rise in the ranks of a sport, BMX, that's predominantly white. Mm-hmm. You know, like, that's a big idea. Yeah. You know, so like, I've been chasing this big idea, and he's chasing big ideas and have done crazy things throughout the years. Just things that people will never ever forget, and it's almost like, let's go after that, never been done before. Yeah. Like, that's the mission. So working on him is dope because I'm able to expand on those big ideas and get another creative mind to put input on things that I want to do. Mm-hmm. You know, which is so important. You know, and especially someone that's not based in BMX, to get their opinion on what I'm doing, especially because I want to appeal to that more mainstream market. Mm-hmm. It's a great opportunity to have someone like Pharrell around me, you know.
Dope, man, dope. Well, brother, you know I'm supporting every single move you're doing.
Likewise, dude.
At Nigel Sylvester on literally everything. Social network.
I keep it real simple, man. Just holler at me.
Get at him, please. If you're not in tune, ladies and gentlemen, just type his name on YouTube and see some of the amazing tricks and all kinds of stuff this guy does, man. It's just incredible.
Man. Hit your local search engines, whether it's your Yahoo, your Bing, your Googles, whatever you got. Hit that search engine.
Find me. And man, you guys know, holla at me, youtube.com/Jabari. And everything is just Jabari. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Facebook is not, but whatever.
We'll find it.
And this has been another edition of Words with Friends, man. This is gonna be, we're gonna keep coming. I'm just regular conversation with some of my really good friends within the industry, and just not just in general, man. Just people who I think somebody can learn a thing or two from. So thank you guys for supporting. iTunes link is coming soon. But right now, SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Jabari. Spread it, share it.